Good morning. We made it one way or another to Thursday of week 3. Can you believe it? Yikes. Um, I've heard many times from some of you and a few times from a few of you and 0 times from a lot of you, which now would be a good time to start emailing me and your other instructors because we're in this. Official day was on the 4th, which means you're counted as having been in class. And um, so now it's for really real. Uh, you need to open up a good line of communication with me and all of your instructors. Since we're online, or if you're doing hybrid classes, it's critical. It's not an optional thing, whether you are communicating with us. I mean, it would be awful for you to go through the entire semester and then brag to someone that you never once emailed your instructors. Um, you're totally missing what college is about. You're building these communication pathways because I know it seems like we are all in these little hovels, um, but we actually all know people. So, one of the reasons that you would um, establish a rapport and a professional relationship with your professors is because we're the ones who write you recommendations for scholarships or for job internships or jobs or getting into a sorority or fraternity, um, honor societies. All of those things need reference letters. That's part of our get, okay? Because it won't be applicable for you to ask your high school instructors anymore. That was all practice. This is the real deal. And as amazing as you may have been when you were 16, it looks really bad to have someone who knew you basically as a child for an interview, for a reference. So make sure that you're establishing relationships with your instructors, okay? It's a big deal. Your advisor would also be someone who would be someone to establish that rapport with. Speaking of advising, how's it going? Um, all 8 of my class sections this semester have the same advisor, Evelyn Flores. It's not optional. If you look at your syllabus ever once accidentally, you're going to see that it's not an optional thing. It's 10% of your overall grade to do the advising PowerPoint, to meet with her, and to turn in the stuff. Okay? So you and she set up the scheduling. I have nothing to do with her schedule. I'm not in charge of her calendar, and I don't know what her day looks like. So you got to talk to her. Um, but you got to do this. Now, the exception would be if you are a veteran or if you're eligible for veterans benefits, like maybe a parent was a veteran and you're using the veterans benefits through that avenue, then you would talk to the veterans advising people. Okay? So you got to talk to one of them, either veterans advising or Evelyn. Um, so get on that. She sends me an update every single Friday. Some of you are done completely with that aspect. You've done all 3 components. I mean, the thing isn't due until what, end of November? So you are on it. Good job. The rest of you, go do it. Okay? It's there to help you. The reason that you would do this is because we want to save you time and money. So who wouldn't want to do that? Right? Because if you're just like blindly picking classes and you have no idea what you should be taking each semester, you're going to waste time and you're going to waste money. Because you plan to transfer to A&M, Texas Tech, Texas State, UT, whatever, And you get there and they're like, oh, well, you're going to have to retake something, or you're going to have to take this other thing because you didn't take what we need you to take, then that's a problem. So the advisors are there because that's their area of specialization to find out where you want to transfer or what your career plan is and get you through your program as quickly and efficiently as possible. Okay? It's there to help you. So do it. All right, so advising, we got that. A smarter major. Almost all of you, I want to say 87% of you completed the Smarter Major assessment, which was due last Friday at 5 or by 5. You know that just because it says it's due at a certain time doesn't mean you need to wait until 7:59, the minute before that thing's due, right? Don't do that to yourself. That's scary. So, like, just do it ahead of time and be done. The Smarter Major assessment, the reason that you do that is because it looks in those 5 different areas for your college readiness. So it's looking at to what degree are you proficient in these 5 different areas. And then it sends me a compilation and all these statistics and charts and all kinds of data to analyze how competent you are in those 5 different areas. If you didn't score very high in whatever area, then that's an area for you to work on. It's not an area for you to be like, oh my gosh. Okay, it's this is not a freak out thing. It's just, okay, I'm doing well in these areas and I could do better in these. Now, what if you just soared magically through all 5 areas? Well, then good job. But that means keep going. Don't just like sit back and be like, I'm good. That's not how college works. Okay. This is never, ever a time to sit back. It's full speed ahead. Okay. All right. We'll get to that other thing. Oh, mini essays. I love mini essays. Oh my gosh. You might not love it yet, but chances are pretty good you're gonna like these. That's been the case in the past. So we're doing it differently this semester. Just for me, I just am experimenting. So in the past, you used to have to do 5. Now you're going to do 4 mini essays, and they're each 25 points. So for 4 mini essays, it's the same amount of points as your campus resource project, as your time analysis project, as your advising component total. So again, the 4 mini essays consist of 10% of your overall grade. This is the difference between getting an A and a B. Okay, so it would be a good idea to do them. Each one is set up differently. I have you reading articles and watching a couple of videos. And then what I want you to do is take your experience and your thoughts and merge them with what you learned or what you thought about the article or about the video. Okay, so you're not doing a book report because I know what the article says. That's why I asked you to read it. But rather, take your experiences and your perceptions and then merge them with what the article said and answer the questions that I have posed for you. Okay? So it's a mini essay. You're going to MLA format it. You're going to double space that thing because it's easier to read. And it's less to write if you're doing a page and you're just doing a page. But this does not mean a page like that. You are in college. So knock out an actual page. Okay. Can you do more than a page? Sure. Can you do 3 pages? Please don't. Please don't. It takes so long to grade all this stuff. I'm still working through the letters to yourself because I have to take a break because they're great, but a lot of you wrote a lot and I read it all. So, mini essay, okay? If you're kind of a wordy person, edit, right? Okay. But they're fun. They're meant to be fun and helpful. Uh, okay, still getting back to that one. Time analysis. You should be working on your time analysis. If this is new news to you, then what have you been doing? I gave it to you for Module 2 so that you knew that it was coming up. Um, get on it if you're not already working on it. But just to clarify some things. So there's two different schedules, right? And hopefully you saw this last week, but just to reiterate, you have these two different schedules. The first schedule that you should be keeping track of now is what's going on this week. So you're tracking like what time you get up and how long it takes you to get ready in the morning and um, how long it takes you to sit around and do stuff on your phone before you actually start moving. And then if you're working outside the home, then what's your commute time? And then how long are you at work? And then what's your commute home or, whatever your plans are after work? And throughout the day, you're tracking what's going on. Now, before, you should have done the first set of schedules as your best guess. Like, what did you think this week was going to look like? If you haven't done that yet, stop everything now, do it, and you're just going to have to cheat, I guess, for the previous days. But for the days that haven't happened yet, including the rest of today, I need you to best guess it for what you think those days are going to look like. Because we all have good plans, right? Gonna get up, gonna work out, gonna have my hair not be driving me crazy, um, whatever. And then life happens, right? You get on your computer and you realize that you needed to do an assignment. You get called into work because somebody's sick. Something goes on with your kids if you have kids, or you have to take your dog to the vet, or whatever. But that's life, right? We make plans and then plans change. And a sign of how high your emotional intelligence is how well you deal with a change in plans, right? So maybe you're someone who's a very rigid type of person and you make plans, and if they don't happen the way you planned it, then you kind of freak out. Well, then that would be something that you need to work on, because if you're adding stress to your life by freaking out every time plans change, and I mean 2020, what? You're going to have a lot more stress and you're not going to be as overall successful as you would be if you're able to just deal with it and have more flexibility. It doesn't mean you're going to like it and be like, oh, yay! The air conditioner broke and it's hot as all get out or whatever. I'm so excited. No, it just means that you can deal with stuff as it comes along in a healthy emotional way, because we're going to talk a lot about emotional intelligence. It has to do with how much money you make, it has to do with your promotion status, it has to do with what jobs you get in the first place. Like, this is a big deal, and it has nothing to do with like holding hands and singing around a campfire. So don't hear emotional intelligence and go, oh, wait a second, whoa, 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 we're not talking about emotions. That's not what I was saying. So stay tuned on that one. You can't turn in the time analysis until after the time has occurred. Okay? So the reason the Dropbox is set up like that is because you couldn't possibly have completed the time analysis project because those dates haven't occurred yet. So you have nothing to analyze yet, or you're just totally making the whole thing up. Don't do it. Okay? It's not going to be helpful to you if you just fake it. Syllabus and calendar. Holy bats, people. I stuff things into the announcements. It's the first thing that comes up when you log into our class is the announcements. Read them. Watch the videos. I'm not doing it for me. I know what's going on. It's for you. Some of you send questions and I'm just like, did you turn on your computer? Okay. At the beginning of the semester, I suggested printing off the syllabus. The syllabus has all kinds of amazing information here. This is page 1. Oh, look, I printed it off. Even I think that this is important. Page 1, lots of good information. Okay. My phone number's there for the office, but you can see I'm home. We're not allowed to go on campus. So probably email. Okay. Jason LaPre is my supervisor. Now, that's there for legal stuff. If I fall off the planet and you don't hear from me for like a week and there's a funky smell coming from my house, then yes, please contact Dean LaPre. But I think you need to put into context, this is not a small thing for you to contact him. Like something needs to be horribly, horribly wrong for you to email or call him. Like he's a great guy, he's going to do everything he can to help you. But I almost want to say you better be on fire for him to be contacted, but I don't want to be dramatic. So think real hard how you want to portray yourself and how you want to establish that rapport and communication with your instructors. I work with a bunch of amazing, amazing faculty members, and I can't think of a single person who I don't view as highly professional and highly educated and highly just outstanding human beings. I mean, we are working our butts off for you guys, and it's because we love doing it. So, I'm just going to leave that there. Another part you might want to consider printing off would be the calendar portion of the syllabus. It starts on page 10 and goes 10, 11, and 12. And it has all the due dates. All the due dates for everything. This piece of paper wins. So if I would accidentally put the wrong due date in D2L, it doesn't matter because whatever is on this syllabus is that wins. It's I almost said legal document. It's not quite a legal document, but it's a big darn deal. Okay, I would have to go through all kinds of steps and processes to change those due dates. So that's it. All right. But there's not ever a time where you get to say, I didn't know something was due. Sorry. Mm-mm. If you need it in one easy to read step or page 3, also has all the major assignments, including the mini essays and their due dates, in one easy, friendly to use page. Ta-da! Okay. Lastly, the late work Dropbox. I tried this for spring semester for the first time, and it wasn't awful. And then I used it in summer one, and it was kind of awful. But I'm going to try it again for this semester. I have a late work Dropbox open. Please read the instructions in the late work Drops module. How many can you turn in? Okay. You can turn in one thing that you either totally biffed it and like, I don't know what, and your grade not so hot, or if you just entirely missed something, then you can turn it into that late work Dropbox. It's going to be open for one weekend. You have to look in the module and put it in there during that weekend. Okay? I'm not allowed to offer late stuff for 100% of the grade of the points. So the highest is 70%. So if, for instance, you didn't do your campus resource project and you're going to put that in the late work Dropbox, then the highest grade you would get on that is a 70. Is that great? Well, it's a C. Is that way better than a 0? Yeah. Yeah, that's way better than a 0. So do it. If you missed the Smarter Major assessment that I was talking about earlier, do it. That's the only one where you actually get 100% out of it. Now, Smarter, if you've missed both, then what are you doing? But also, do the campus resource project because points wise it's 100 and you get 70% out of that, so it's 20 more points than the 50 that you could get out of the Smarter Major. Okay, so campus resource has more weight if you're trying to decide between the two. If you get on both of those and later on you screw something up, then that Dropbox is available to you until that date. There's a list in the module that tells you what is not eligible for the Dropbox. The discussion board things, you can't discuss after the fact. So that doesn't work. And you can't put the midterm in there. Also not going to work. Speaking of the midterm, I'm going to open that up on Monday. And we're a ways away from the midterm, of course, but I just want you to have a lot of time to do it. Okay? You might accidentally like it. And if not, that's okay. You'll be fine. But it's applicable to what we have going on in our world, in our societies, in our cultures, in our political arenas that we have. I think you might find it beneficial. Okay, that's it on my list. How are you? I'm tired. Anyone else tired? Like, things are going well, but it's just a lot, right? We have a lot going on in the world. We have a lot going on in our homes and our families. And my washing machine is yelling at me. But I hope you're doing okay. If you're not doing okay, please reach out. A lot of you have mentioned that you're parents, and I'm sorry if I've told you twice, and some of you I haven't told any time, but I became a mom pretty young, and my oldest daughter is in her second year at University of Texas at Austin, and uh, I can't believe that my baby girl's that old. But I know what it's like to be a mom and be a college student, and I know how hard it is. It's it's a tough balance. Um, so reach out. You're not alone. If you have other things going on, if you're not safe at home, if you're struggling with mental health, with anxiety, with depression, wow, join the club. We've got shirts. Not really, but I mean, we should have shirts, right? This is a tough, tough time for everyone. And if there's some days where you're like, I'm not okay, that's normal. We're in a pandemic, okay? Our political stuff is insane. Our cultural and civil rights stuff, insane. We have a lot to work on as a society, don't we? There's a lot of injustice, and it's not going to be an easy fix, but man, there's some things that need to get fixed. Um, Reach out. We have great counselors on campus who can do online counseling. Um, I don't know if they're taking in-person counseling yet or not, but they're amazing people, and it's part of being a student there. So, I mean, you don't have to pay extra for it, but do reach out. And then there's other resources available as well, right? And I can just point you in whatever direction. Okay, this is long. I'm sorry. I hope you watched it, and I hope you paid attention to something. All right, you are doing so good. You're doing such amazing work. I can't comment on every single thing every single time, but I try to comment on most things most times. Um, so just keep up the amazing work. I am so impressed. This is going to be a good semester, okay? It's going to be challenging for lots of different reasons, but we're going to be okay. All right, have a good day.